Yo, what's Gucci, everybody? It's your boy K Dot, first like Super Saiyan World Problem. I'm back here with another video. We have the Soups and Lois season 3, episode 4 review. This show is fire so far. This show has been fire. It's been great. Just a great piece of Superman content in general, modern day Superman content. This is the type of Superman. This is exactly the type of Superman I need to see in Superman Legacy. This is what you exactly need. You know, yes, you're going to put a big budget on it, but this is the type of Superman you need when it comes to character. This is exactly what you need. Now, this Superman is a little different from the other Superman. You know, he has 2 kids, he has a family, so that's a bigger dynamic. But take away the family stuff. Keep the character as is. This is what Superman is. This is what Clark Kent, how he's supposed to be. What up, Chill? What up? What's up, Derpy Entertainment? All right, let's go ahead and blow through this episode real quick and just, highlight some of the best parts. I'll be honest with you guys. I really didn't dislike nothing from this episode, honestly. Back to back, these episodes are getting even better. I would say compared to season 2, season 3 so far is off to a better start. But I did like season 2. But I feel like these episodes, compared to the first 4 episodes of season 2, these episodes are like constant back to back to back bangers. So this episode, we start with Superman and Jordan. They've dealing with this fire right now. At this moment, Lois is still dealing with her cancer. She has breast cancer. She's still dealing with that at the moment. Jordan is here working alongside his dad, helping him, stop this fire over here and everything. So Superman in this scene is actually listening in on Lois. He's literally pinpointing on her voice and everything to literally hear what she's doing. So we think it's a call for help, when in reality he hears something happen with Lois and he rushes off to go and help her, which allows Jordan to have his moment and, stop this whole fire by himself. His dad let him know, and let me just show you guys. So this is the type of stuff, Clark, being the father figure he is, telling Jordan stuff like this.
I'll yell if anything happens. What?
It's your mom.
Dad, I can handle this. I'll yell if anything happens.
Start with the perimeter and you work your way in. Be careful.
Love it. Love it. So after this, he goes right to Lois, and we come to find out Lois is not really in trouble. All she did was drop some glass. But this...
clearly was aggressive violence.
But you see, Superman's paranoia is starting to kick in. Like, he's literally doing what he promised Lois that they wouldn't do at the start of the relationship, and that was spy on her and stuff from afar. And all she did was drop some glass, but his paranoia has kicked in so much that he's literally just breaking these little rules that they establish with one another. And he does make some mistakes in this episode. We're going to get to him soon. He makes a lot of decisions in this episode that's in favor of Lois, but in reality, all it did was keep certain characters from being honest and open as they should.
Just clumsy, and for the record, you don't get to use your super hearing to keep tabs on me. Just
why
because
you
I'm
so
sick.
white, sir? What's up, MSK? So it's not that more. Yay. All right. So we start this episode off. We see Jordan and Jonathan arguing about some stuff. They arguing over a jacket. And Lois and Superman comes upstairs. He doesn't know, like, yo, you guys need to chill out. Your mom, she got this cancer and stuff. Y'all out here stressing her, everything, doing all this nonsense, all this tomfoolery. And he asks them to, just go out and go do something. Jordan, so in this episode, Jordan leaves with his dad. No, he leaves and he goes with his grandfather to get his haircut. Jordan doesn't know he's going to get his haircut, and reason being is Jordan got caught on footage on the camera footage from the helicopter that flies above and captures the footage of the fire, basically reporting the news. And his grandfather is encouraging him to cut his hair. He wants him to basically do the same thing Clark did, have the look of a regular individual, not bring too much attention to yourself. Clark got a standard ass haircut. He looks standard. He dresses basic. He just wears glasses. He looks basic. Yes, you can obviously look at his face like that's Superman, right? But even Henry Cavill in real life did this, and he proved the point. If y'all remember when BVS came out and they was doing the marketing, Henry Cavill ran around New York dressed up in his Superman suit. Well, he was basically had the suit under it and the disguise on. He walked around. Nobody in the city realized he was Superman, which proved the point that Superman disguise actually works. Blending in works instead of trying to overcompensate and do all this extra stuff. He blended right in. So Jordan, being a young teen, tells his grandfather, like, nah, man, I want to cut my hair. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to do it. He disrespected his grandfather, spoke out of term, and basically questioned his grandfather's military history, right? And tried to say he wasn't a hero. And his grandfather admits later in that episode that really hurt his feelings. Love that theme. The theme is epic. Pause MSK. I'll get to that soon. Another episode, another part of this episode that I really liked was John Henry Steele finally meeting up with his sister. So this is not his biological sister in this Earth. Steele is from a separate Earth. This is his sister that's parallel to his sister from his Earth. So he's finally meeting her, and the reason he's doing so is because Steele, the version of Steele that was originally on this Earth was working with Bruno Mannheim, selling illegal weapons and stuff. He was basically doing some crooked stuff. So Steele is basically trying to figure out who these people are and why they still got problems with him and make sure things are smooth. Because he wants to raise his daughter Natalie in this new Earth. And he can't raise his daughter comfortably if he looks like somebody that has beef with, all these different people. So he's trying to figure this stuff out and basically square things over. And in the midst of this, he's trying to come talk to his sister, get some information about his parallel self. And, they have a heart-to-heart in this moment and stuff. They're talking about things. And they find out that there's so many similarities between the two in this moment. There's so much that is different, but also there's little things that are still the same for both of them.
They weren't. John became distant, paranoid.
I forgot what she was in, but I swear she was on his TV show. I forgot what she was in, but she used to be on this TV show on TBS I used to like watching. I forgot what it was.
My dad heard from an old army brother. More than anything, without. 6 months later, he was murdered.
Nah, NYC pedestrians mind their own business. I mean that too, but it's that mentality of minding your own business and not really good. Many people don't really pay attention like you think they would, right? To a lot of stuff, and it makes Superman's disguise so much easier for him to pull off. Like if you're not bringing too much attention to yourself, nobody's not going to care about you or worry about you. If you bring so much attention to yourself, I mean, everybody's going to literally like be following you around. For example, 6ix9ine, dude got tattoos all over his face and rainbow hair. I mean, it's hard to not recognize him. You when you stand out so much, people recognize you more. When you try to keep it chill, keep it on the down low, nobody's not really going to care about you, right? Which is a plus for Clark. It allows him to be Superman, and not many people really pay attention to who he is and what he looks like. So let me dial it back. In this episode, so Jonathan finally confronts Candace's dad. Candace is his girlfriend. So this dude on the right is his girlfriend's dad, right? He stole Jonathan's truck last episode. He's finally confronting him, he's trying to base down like, I know you stole from me, bro. Just admit it. Just admit it, you stole from me. He's on the defensive. He's acting butthurt about it and going like, no, I didn't steal from you. What are you talking about? What are you accusing me of? Basically, what typically what people do when you put them in this, when you finally confront them about their wrongdoing, they get defensive. They want to get physical. They want to do harm to you. Basically, all that stuff. And as I said, does harm to him. So this dude's wilding. But mind you, he doesn't love his daughter enough, so it makes sense why he does this. He literally punched
Just true.
Jonathan.
You stole. Could do a chop shop. Look, I know it was you. You had my mom's watch.
Shut your mouth.
Oh, what? You don't want everyone hearing that you're a crap dad?
Damn, that black eye came on quick. Shit. But yeah, so he straight up socked the shit out of him. Now, mind you, in this episode, Clark tells Lois, well, he tells the kids. So when he tells the kids to go off and do their own thing for the day, he tells them, don't bother your mom about nothing. Don't basically bother Lois, which wasn't right for him to do. I mean, yes, more stress on Lois is going to make the sickness even worse. Stress does affect that stuff, but you can't tell your kids, don't bother your mom with this, this, and that, and expect for the mom to be okay with that. Like you can't do that. Now, granted, Superman, I know he meant don't bring all your little problems to Lois, but like what Jordan was dealing with today, what Jonathan was dealing with today, he should have went to Lois and Clark immediately. Like he should have went to them immediately. But since Clark didn't really break it down to his sons, like little shit, then they just decided not to tell them nothing, mainly Jonathan. But see, even then, I thought Jonathan would have learned since last season to like be more honest. I mean, he got in trouble with XK and stuff and lying for his girlfriend who was selling drugs. But, you know, been there, done that. He was listening to his dad and his dad told him, don't bother nobody. So Lois is
knowing what is going on in my own family.
Your mom's right, and I was wrong to tell you otherwise. So, what happened?
So yeah, Lois finally tries to confront him. In this moment, Superman gets a call from the DOD. So if it loops all the way back to season 2, and it makes sense now because I was wondering when did the DOD get Superman's blood. So basically, in season 2, when Superman lost his abilities and got him drained by Parasite Ali Allison, they was able to finally put needles and stuff inside of Superman's body, you know, basically drain his blood and do all the testing they need to do. Some parts of the DOD secretly kept his blood, and they wanted to keep it just in case if they run into a situation like Ali Allison again, Parasite, they want to be able to, you know, make super soldiers. Superman did what I needed him to do. Sorry, set for best episode so far. Facts. I hope John get his powers too. Yeah, it's weird that now I'm looking at it like this, right? Let's look at it from a scientific standpoint, like genetics and stuff, right? It is clear Jordan's picks up after his dad's genes more. And obviously, Lois' human genes obviously dominate Jonathan. But when Jonathan took Kryptonite, it gave him Kryptonian powers. But we know he's part Kryptonian. So it's just weird that his powers hasn't kicked in yet. But I can understand it to an extent if you look at it from a scientific standpoint, right? You know, because that's the cases with some kids and stuff. You know, I have two brothers and two sisters, right? Me and my sister look more alike compared to me and my other brother who doesn't look that much alike. My other brother looks more like my mom. Me and my sister look more alike and probably look more like our dad. So, you know, I want him to get his powers. I want them to come in, but I want him to have his powers. But then if he doesn't get them, I'm not really mad but I do want him to finally get his powers. But this is what I said. This is what I believe they should have done with both of his sons, right? I think that what they should have done, and I think this would have worked perfectly to truly kind of make them depend on each other. Both of them gets half of Superman's abilities. Like one of them gets flight and super strength, but maybe not the speed. And then when the other brother gets the speed, heat vision, but they still get like durability for the most part, but they get like they half and half it. You know, I think that would have been something you could have done to where you can incorporate both the brothers and have them work together so that, you know, one of them isn't just as OP as Superman, but they can also still help their dad. But they both need to rely on one another too, since they're both basically going to be two halves of Superman. I think they could have done something like that. Could have done something like that. Are they teasing Cadmus, Connor Kent? You know what? I'm glad you brought it up because Lex Luthor has not been introduced yet, right? Lex Luthor is supposed to show up in this season. So let me go to the Vials of Blood and show you guys what I'm exactly talking about. Not to that scene yet. Oh, we're going to talk about the Sarah shit in a minute. Damn, which part of the episode was it again?
I was with Grant.
Hold up, guys. I'm trying to get to that part of the episode.
I
Right
wrote
here.
it first.
Thing. We need to make sure this never happens again.
I agree.
So the DOD has his Vials of Blood. Superman decides to destroy him. But who's to say he destroyed all the vials? You know what I'm saying? Lex Luthor has not shown up yet. Now, they say Superman and Lois is supposedly supposed to have 2 more seasons, 4 and 5. And if they're building up to a, you know, Lex Luthor bringing in Superboy, you know, Connor Kent, not Jonathan Kent. And Jordan is a original character, but Connor Kent, which is Lex Luthor's son, right? Usually Lex Luthor and Superman's son, they both use their same DNA. They put it in one and they combine it, blah, blah, blah. So if they're building up to that, that would be pretty cool. But we don't know the status of Lex Luthor. That's why I wish that the one thing that I always had an issue with in the show is like, what's the status of Lex Luthor in this universe? Has he been there? Is he a villain of Superman? Or is he kind of just like he left Superman alone for a while and he's just doing his own thing? You know, like what's up with that? But Lex Luthor is showing up. They'll fill us in. Hopefully they make sense on the status of this Lex and if he'd been around or if, you know, him and Superman did have a back and forth back in the day and they just kind of like Lex just kind of chilled out and started doing stuff more, keeping stuff more low key. And now since he probably got of Superman's blood, he can go out and do some bad stuff again. Because now he can make his own Superman to combat Superman. By the way, John blocked Jordan's punch, though. That was low-key super speed. I mean, his hands still break. His hands still broke. But he did. I mean, he did catch it. He did catch it. But it didn't completely broke his hand. Because when Jordan punched, Jordan was punching with all his force, right? He was punching all his force. The way he was punching, he wasn't holding back. He was going to punch with all his force. And when Jordan got his hand snapped, you would think, damn, that motherfucker's hand is done. But luckily it healed. But you would think his hand is done. He hit him with a full force punch. So maybe some of that Kryptonian DNA is somewhat doing something. But like I say, hopefully they do let Jonathan finally embrace his powers too. Because it's only one. Superman's the only hero on this planet. I think you can have 3 people of somewhat equal power on this earth, right? It's not like this is a universe full of a Flash, a Green Lantern, Batman, all these characters. You can literally have all the suns and Superman shine together on this planet and allow them all to be heroes because there's still so much stuff going on. Superman can't do everything alone, you know. Facts, and Lois having a kid, a daughter being Laura Kent would be dope too. Well, I think they ruled out that was a miscarriage. They glossed over that kid thing so quick because they said it was a miscarriage. They didn't really give us a time frame of when the miscarriage happened and stuff. Like one episode, she thinks she's having a kid, and then they talk about the miscarriage in episode 3, I think. They kind of glossed over that. I wish they filled in more of that. They literally glossed over it super quick. And the way John threw that football as a kid was a hint as well. Yep. Okay, so let's talk about Sarah real quick. I do not hate Sarah, but this type of shit annoys me about Sarah. So Sarah want to do her little manipulation stuff, which a lot of these kids nowadays do. Want to do her little manipulation stuff. So basically, last episode, Sarah told her mom, oh, now it makes sense why dad cheated on you. It's trying to imply like you deserve to be cheated on, basically. Lana slapped her. Now, do I think Lana was wrong for that? No. I think that was a deserving slap. It's not like Lana slapped Sarah for, I don't know, like little stuff. There's parents who just literally hit their kids for any little thing. Lana didn't just hit her for any old little thing. He didn't hit her for any little thing. So when he ended up, what's up, Arkham?
What's up?
So when Lana ended up slapping Sarah, I think it was deserved for what she said. And Sarah this episode tried to go to her dad, give her dad half the story, and then basically confuse them both. And I'll show you guys the confusion that came about.
Excuse why I slapped her.
Well, then what was it?
Let's not even go there.
No, Lana, I think I deserve to know what happened.
Sarah said it was my fault you cheated on me.
She said what?
So yeah, I think the slap was very deserving. What's good, Arkham?
Good.
How was Super Mario?
It was very good. 9 out of 10, in my opinion.
How was the story to you? I mean, a lot of people. There's a lot. Real quick, I don't want to derail too much from the episode, but a lot of people are saying everything about the movie is like solid, but the story is kind of like lacking.
No, I disagree with that. Like it grabs like basically a Mario. It's the basic story of Mario with like
Yeah, I mean, Mario games always I like Mario, but the story's always been simple as fuck.
Yeah, like it's it's a very good Mario movie, like it's Super Mario Bros. And it's for the fans. I don't understand why the critics hate it, but like whatever. But like if you're a big Mario fan with the games and etc., it's gonna be for you. I suggest watch it.
Got it.
Like
because crazy thing is real quick. Most of these critics have played, like almost everybody played Mario. Whether you play Mario Kart, you play the original Super Mario 64, Odyssey, or whatever. Somebody at some point has played.
Don't forget
Galaxy. So everybody at some point has played some type of Mario game. Even Smash Brothers, you can count it to an extent.
Yeah.
Everyone played as Mario at some point in their life, right? And you would think the critics would at least understand that, but mind you, these are critics and stuff. They did the same thing with Sonic, like I said, a lot of these people grew up playing these games and stuff, and they act like they don't understand why the movie is built a certain way it is.
The stories are very like the Mario stories within the games, no matter if it's Odyssey or Galaxy, Mario 64, whatever. It's like they're very simple. They're not very deep and complex that people.
Yeah, super.
I think I don't know what the critics were really expecting because Mario, like, Mario's like the games, the story, like even if they change a tiny bit with this game or that game, they are very basic and simple.
Right. Yeah, it's as long as you're just capturing the feel of it, like
Jack Black as Bowser was very. I loved it. And as Bowser, he was so good.
a last thing before I get back to the episode, how was the Chris Pratt Mario voice?
Very good. Like the trailers only sum it up a little bit, but he acts very well as Mario. Within the whole movie, you're gonna think he's very good.
Okay, last thing I'll ask. Did you, well, since you've seen it only once so far, but hearing like his voice, did you think you heard more of Mario or Chris Pratt while listening to it? Like, what
Mario.
do you think you heard? Okay.
It didn't really sound like Chris Pratt, to be honest. It's like the trailers capture a tiny bit, like 5% of what he does, but when you go through the movie, he has that essence, like how he's doing the voice acting as Mario.
I have a theory. I think they intentionally did that just to get this conversation riled up because I think the studio knew that the voice was going to throw people off so much, and they intentionally like hit so much of it and showed little sound bites that don't really represent it in the best way to get people like really talking about it.
Yeah, probably.
Back to the episode, guys. Flash by Night Comics at episode 4. Fuck around and find out. Basically, and we're gonna get to the part where some fuck around and found out happened. Arkham, did you watch the episode yet?
Oh yeah, I watched it. I really liked it. With the same with the slap. Yes, what I think it's Sarah. Yeah, what Sarah said was wrong, but it doesn't help what Sarah didn't tell her father the whole story and everything like that.
Yeah, because as I was listening, I was waiting like, okay, is she gonna tell the full story? And then when she, because we know what happened last episode, he doesn't know what happened, he didn't see it. But when she intentionally left out that part, I'm like, oh wow, she's.
I would say like the slap thing, like Kyle, I would say is right. Like you can't determine. Everyone has a bad quality, like. And she was probably having a bad day and stuff like that. It's like, that doesn't mean she's a bad mother and stuff like that. I wouldn't have if I would say, I wouldn't have really slapped her, but the stuff that she said about like Kyle and stuff like that, I think that was deserved, to be honest, because you should have not said that. Like, and it's good that they are in a progression of like, sitting down and going towards stuff. It's just Sarah has to learn what she fucking says. you don't say that shit.
Right, like it's. I mean, for the most part, I don't disrespect my parents at all. I try to keep it, as respectful as I can. But what she said, like, okay, if you want to open up to your parents and it's like talking to a friend, right? Let's say I'm talking Arkham, right? And let's say Arkham had his house robbed by somebody and they took all his stuff. And then I say to Arkham, yeah, that's why you got robbed. I think you kind of deserved it. It's like I'm basically trying to say something that you couldn't really control or do is your fault.
Yeah.
And that you deserved it. It's like that's wrong. I understand her mom was getting on her, but to be fair, on Lana's end, last episode she lied about going to the party. She wasn't honest about that. I think if she was honest, maybe Lana would have probably said yes to it at the time of the episode, but she lied to her about it. So now she wants to make sure her daughter's safe.
Yeah, like it's not her fault that the situation with Kyle is not really Lana's fault. Like,
yeah, that's all on Kyle.
That's on Kyle. And like, I guess as a kid point of view, like you don't like. I do understand what Sarah means. She doesn't like things changing because she's her dad's not living around,
right?
And she just wants things to go back to normal. And and it also doesn't help where you still have that kind of shift between the parents that are making the Sarah like not not able, very uncomfortable in the middle. I feel like the
Yeah,
parents.
she as a I'm not in her situation, so I don't know what she's going through, but I can understand why she's feeling the way she's feeling, and she has a right to feel emotional about
Yeah,
what's going on too.
I
But
hope
Lana,
further within the season, they start not making Sarah feel like she's in the middle and feel like they can both
cope with this.
both cope, and no matter if they're divorced now, they can have more of a stable, friendly, um, friendly relationship between the father and the mother without being in the middle. That's why I want to hope happen.
I think it will at some point because the way they're setting it up, it seems like John Steele is going to get romantically involved with Sarah, and Tyler's kind of just not Tyler, Kyle is going to kind of do his own thing, maybe get together with the girl who works at the at the news station with Lois and Clark.
I forgot her name. I can't remember.
I call her Velma. She looks like Velma.
I call her Velma.
Snyder, he gets better with every season. I think the critics have to judge the movie as a movie and disconnect from the games. If they lean towards the game or show attachment, and I do agree with that. I think there needs to. Okay, there's some people when they review these type of films, they give like their fan score and the critic score, which you can do. You can totally separate your fan criticism as a fan from looking at it objectively as a movie, right? Now, if the that now I don't exactly if the critics feel like the story might be too basic, I wouldn't have an issue with them feeling that way because I saw somebody who reviewed the movie, right? Tessa Smith. She's a Mama's Geeky. She has a channel called Mama's Geeky. She the way she wrote her review on Twitter was that you can like most kid movies are just kid movies. They don't have any real story or whatever. And I had to push back on that. I said, well, you have films like Iron Giant, Tarzan, which is kid movies, but they have really great stories, right? But I am willing to take a simple story for a kid's film if I walk away and the movie is good, right? I don't want to take a simple kids movie and it's bad. But mind you, they're made for kids, but there's kids movies that transcend going past children that even adults love.
And also with the
Wall-E.
Mario movie is like it's not just it's both for the hardcore fans and the casuals, to be honest, as well. So say you're a person that never been introduced with Mario. You probably know the character, but you haven't played the game and stuff like that. It's a mixture of both. So
Yes.
the movie is a mixture of for the hardcore fans, but also it's also for the people that are casuals that probably played one Mario game or haven't played it and just know the gist of Mario, but it gets to that kind of middle area between the casuals and the hardcore fans. Even if you didn't play the games and you know about the character, like I think the critics should know Mario. Mario is really not. Mario's story is not a very complicated story.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
I think they like this is my just opinion. Maybe they just had too high expectations. I don't know, but it's just like animated movies. They could go deep, but like I think they're called Illuminated. That's the studio and stuff like that. Illumination. Their stories are not very complicated, to be honest. They're very simple and basic, but very good.
Right. Like Despicable Me. I mean, it's just a story of a movie about a dude who's a villain. And he takes care of these three girls. Has some emotional moments, but it's a basic kids film, but it's really good. Has a lot of cute moments and stuff. Some great characters. You got the minions, Gru, his daughters. Like it has enough just to pass and be a good film.
Yeah. So I just don't understand, to be honest.
It's not like Ice Age 4. What's with the that stupid Ice Age movie where they're on the ship? the ice ship.
I think
It's
that's
not like
4.
that one that's basic and trash. You know,
Oh yeah, that one.
Ice Age 1 to 3 is solid, but after that,
4.
trash.
Yeah.
All right, back to the episode. So, Jordan finally opens up. Jonathan finally opens up and is being honest and tells him that it was Candace's dad that punched him. Lois decides to be Lois Lane, asserts herself, and tries to be a boss and goes to confront the dad. And it's just funny to me how close everyone is in this town, and the fact that when this scene happens that we're going to get to at the bar scene, this person that I have issue with is the father of Jonathan's girlfriend. And when we get to the bar scene, you have Sarah, who's potentially probably going to be Jordan's girlfriend, looking in on this. It's very much also close to home for them. And
I would say she's more like she's trying to protect her children and stuff like that. And it's like he could have got arrested on spot and stuff like that. But like she wanted to protect her children.
What's up with you, Squeezy?
But like he's the same guy that sold the drug and everything like that. So like
and he had
stole the car and everything.
And he had Candace selling XK2. Also, like this moment in the episode, and we're about to get to I think the best sequence of this episode, the bar sequence.
Yeah.
Lois, the cancer is starting to kick back up. You can see her. I mean, if you look at it, not sure if they're doing any effects, but she looks like she's literally. You can see her cheeks are sucked in. She looks like she's looking ghostly.
Yeah.
And her children come over to comfort her, make sure she's all good. And now the best part,
I really like the John. I think he's John Henry Irons. I like that part where you kind of have that history of this Earth's steel, and you have another Earth.
Right. That's why I like, and the way they're doing this plot for this episode, this season, makes sense. Because okay, let's say I go to a different Earth, right? I don't know if I on that different Earth is some big time drug dealer or whatever, right? And I have beef with the cartel. I can't live comfortably in that universe because I look like somebody else that's going through the same. It's just why when you deal with multiverse stuff like this, they don't really ever talk. They don't really ever talk about that.
Yeah.
The ramifications of you being from a different universe, you possibly looking like somebody else there, and you take on their life, meaning you have to take on their problems too. They kind of gloss over that stuff, but I like that they are actually acknowledging it here and making this a plot. And Bruno Manahan. So far, we have seen very little of him, but the actor playing Bruno, I think he's doing a great job. I think he's doing a great job in this role. Very intimidating. I'm still waiting to see if he's going to have connection to Lex Luthor this season, because Lex Luthor is supposed to show up. Do you think him and Lex are going to be connected or separate? What do you think?
I think connected. I think Bruno Mannheim is working with Lex Luthor. I do feel like, this is just my speculation, I think Bruno will probably get Ben taken out, and the other half of the season is going to be based on Lex Luthor.
On Lex, yeah.
Because like we only have one more season. One more season. This is season
possibly
3.
2. They said 4 and 5. Possibly it's going to be 5, but if they do
they
4,
only said 3 or 4, so I don't know about 5 yet. But if it's true that 4 is the last one, I feel like 4 is going to be focused more on Lex Luthor. So it makes sense for the second half of like when it goes towards the finale, that half would be focused on Lex. But like so far, this show has been very good. I've been liking it. It's having that super.
Yeah, it's 2 more seasons. Gunn said it. I remember Gunn said he said it's 2 more seasons.
I'm liking the quality. It feels like season 1, to be honest. Season 2, I wasn't a fan of. Like,
yeah, that's why I say these first 4 episodes. real quick. These first 4 episodes, you compare them to season 2, episodes 1 through 4. I think they had a way better start than season 2. So I didn't dislike season 2, but I'm not going to lie. When you get to the second half of season 2, those delays, while the episodes wasn't bad, those delays did kind of like kill the momentum.
Yeah, the CW delays, I hate them.
Yeah, they kind of killed the momentum and the anticipation, because there'll be a moment where they give you an episode, right, and you think something doesn't really happen, and then you have to wait a month until the next episode. It's like, you really just took a break for that.
I think it's like,
now, mind you, we know why they took a break, because you had to film Teen Wolf. Tyler Hoechlin, you had to film Teen Wolf. Yeah. But those breaks did hurt. I understand why they did the breaks, but the breaks did hurt.
I don't think Teen Wolf is going on anymore. Yeah.
But yeah, he's done. But when they was doing season 2, they had to. Those reason they did the breaks, because you had to film the Teen Wolf movie. Tyler Hoechlin.
I feel like Superman Lois is like up there. Like it's like one of the, like, in my opinion, Stargirl and Superman Lois are like the best CW shows. Like I would say, with consistency of having a very, very good episodes without just having terrible episodes. Because I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think you had a bad episode in Superman Lois. You might have like
an average
episode, but it was never horribly bad. Like it was never like you had a Flash episode and was just god awful. It was never like I guess Arrow season. I think the one with Damien Dark, the certain
season
episodes,
5 or 4.
I think it was 4. But like
it was around 4 or 5 when Damien came in.
Yeah, but like certain episodes were god awful and I didn't want to watch it. It's like it has.
I mean, you're better than me. I stopped when Ra's al Ghul came in. So,
but it has that consistency, and this is just my opinion. It's better than Mandalorian season 3.
Oh yes. After we're gonna say, I'll say after, but after this episode, I don't even want to finish the Mandalorian season 3 anymore.
Don't.
I don't even want to finish it no more. I was like, what the fuck?
They brought Jack Black for like.
I'm not sure if that episode, the part when him and Lizzo came in, looked like an SNL skit. Yeah, like, it wasn't the way it was shot, the way the layout looked. It looked like a potential SNL skit of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. Just looking at it, looking at the camera quality, the lighting, everything. It looked like an SNL parody. I was like,
I do agree with that, Steppenwolf. No matter, Arrow did end in a high note. Like season 4 might have been the worst season out of all the seasons of Arrow, but it's still end in a good note compared to the Flash. I would say Arrow. Superman Lois, Arrow, was it Stargirl? They're very consistent with good things, except season 4 with Arrow. But the Flash, oh my god, the Flash
is wildly inconsistent.
Yeah,
I like seasons 1, 2, and 3, and some of 5. The rest of the seasons,
yeah, god awful.
I don't care for Mando, to be honest. Disney Star is a parody of Star Wars.
Disagree.
Now we got to get to the best part of the episode. Superman having his bar scene moments. Let me break this down, make this clear for everybody. Superman 2 had a bar sequence. Man of Steel had a bar sequence. Smallville had a bar sequence. And now this is, they're kind of just like continuing the trend here. Not sure if Lois and Clark had a bar sequence, but they're continuing the trend here. And I really like this scene here.
Man, he was showing him, if you fucking go after my family, I get freaking hunt you down.
He was. I mean, he was. You know those I'm him memes.
Yeah,
that was it. That was I'm him moment.
The scene was fire.
Yeah, I thought. Now, out of all these sequences, right? Superman 2 had its campiness to it, but Clark, came in there, asserted himself. and checked the individual, right? Man of Steel, Clark, he decided not to use any type of violence, just stood there, let the dude pour beer on him. The guy pushed him and he pushed back. And what he did was go outside and destroy the truck. But I think this right here is the balance of what I needed. And look, this is, I'm going to show you guys. Let's just play a little bit of this, you guys can see it, but I'll break down to you why this is the best balance of what Clark Kent Superman should do in a situation like this. Right.
All right.
Let me skip ahead.
I just overexerted myself a little.
I had to talk to Candace's mom with a gun.
I'd heard rumblings.
All right, and this part right here. This part right here.
This is not a job for Superman.
He's not going.
He said, "Fuck Superman. This is a job for Clark. Clark is going today." That's why I love this. That's why I love this. I think Clark Kent, while he does hold back a lot, you need to see that. You need to see this side of him at some time to show that Clark is not a full-on pushover or a chump.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like it shows a mixture of Superman. Like it shows him no one messes with my family. Like Superman's not going, but he's gonna stand up for his family if something happens.
Right. And I think if he went as Superman, I think that would have been super corny. Not as I just think it would have been corny because this is the moment where you as a father and a husband, like take out the superhero stuff. This is now where you as a husband and a father need to step in. Clark Kent is married to Lois and he has those kids. Superman is a extension of Clark, which can do all these other things, but this is a moment where he needs to be Clark Kent. He came in here. So just to let everyone know. So basically, the guy he's about to confront tried to pull a gun on Lois, punched Jonathan in the face, and assaulted him. So Superman, in my opinion, is fully justified in everything he does in this sequence here. We're going to show a little bit of it.
Clark, are you okay?
Nope.
The heartbeat, everything. Dang.
Emmett Pregandi? I'm John Kent's dad. Lois Lane's husband?
What's to you?
We need to have a talk.
Get the hell out of my face.
Now let me skip ahead a little bit. Don't want to show too much copyright.
Pulled a gun on my wife. And now you and I are going to step outside so we can talk.
Look at Kyle over like, yeah, well,
I'm not going anywhere with you. Seen this before.
Now, if you ever threaten my family again, take something that isn't yours or sell another
His
dangerous
acting
drug,
is really good. It's his last line.
I will come for you.
I will come for you.
If you guys know, he did the voice of Sephiroth in Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy VII remake. Now that wasn't Superman right there, or Clark Kent. That was something evil that just came out of his body right there. He said, "I will come for you." That was something. That was a demon that just came out of his body. In that moment, he channeled something else. But I like it. I like it because it was just enough. And then after this here, you see Clark go right back to being regular Clark.
Very long time. Now leave.
And then you just see him act like Clark yet again.
Damn, Kent.
I'm sorry to interrupt everyone's dinner.
Perfect. This is what I need. This is what I needed. This is what we need to be getting in Superman Legacy. This is the exact character type we need to see up in Superman Legacy. I'm sorry. This is what we need to see. It's what we need.
Yep.
Oh, what did you say? You about to say something, Arkham?
Oh yeah, I agree. Like, I really like this scene. It just shows like a husband and father stand up for his family, and like no one messes with my family. It shows like it would feel more off if it was Superman, and it feels just right Clark basically having him talk with what's her name, Candace?
Yeah, Candace, Emmett, whatever his dad's name is.
Yeah, her father. Yeah, but yeah, like I really liked it.
Like, and this is why I say this is Clark Kent. While he is a gentle giant, I don't want him to be a pushover and a chump, right? That's why if he decided to do some corny shit like, I like violence is not the answer type of shit in this situation, I think I would have been pretty much pissed at that, because in this moment, like I said, take out all the Superman stuff. This is when you need to step up in your father. He did use the right amount of force for the situation, didn't do too much, and he kept it focused on the individual he was dealing with. Like the individual he was dealing with. Because while this is a callback to many things, I'll be honest with you, this is why I wanted to see in a little bit in Man of Steel, right? Because look at the bar scene in Man of Steel. While I respect the approach of Superman like taking a no violence stance to basically distract the individual from messing with that. Remember, he was bullying that girl, the waitress, and he fully distracted that guy from messing with the girl, and he got him to focus on him, which is also another way of taking away this danger away. But instead of Superman going out to destroy that truck, I wanted him to do something like take the dude, slam him on the table, and make it clear, don't do it again. You know, because at times you need to assert yourself and make it known to people that I am not to be fucked with. It's not to say you are using violence in a malicious way, but you have to let people know you can't be fucked with. Because if Clark didn't do nothing like this, guess what? This guy would have done the same exact thing to Jonathan again. If Clark didn't do nothing like this. So since he did this, and we see later in episode, Clark said he's literally like driving out of the city to go somewhere else. It worked.
Yeah.
It was effective.
And I do agree with Steppenwolf. This doesn't really feel like a CW show. It feels like an HBO Max show.
It's a secret HBO Max show.
Yeah. It does make sense because it is being produced by HBO Max.
Right.
I think it's just my opinion. I think they have the writers from HBO Max write it, and it's being produced by them, but it's just on.
It airs on CW.
But it's just on cable television. That's all.
Because after we know HBO Max is about to turn into a different streaming service, but hopefully they keep the same deal. But basically, once all this episodes finished for the season, they go on to HBO Max. So hopefully, when they transition over, they still keep that. You know, we get these episodes on HBO Max after the whole season finishes.
Oh yeah, that still goes. Like that still comes.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it of the episode. Finally, Jordan is about to get his suit, and it's inspired by. Basically looks like Clark's. In some cases, remember Man of Tomorrow, his origin suit where he had the goggles and the cape and the pilot's cap. His suit is basically about to be that. So he's gonna get what his dad would get if he was doing Superboy in Smallville.
I do think eventually he needs a haircut, like more the classic look of Superboy, like because his hair is different in the comics.
Yeah.
I
mean, if you look at, because you know they since they aged up Superboy, you can now has that his hair is kind of curly at the top.
Yeah,
it's not curly like his, but it's his is like full on curly all around, but it's like a mixture between. It's kind of like my hair, but take Johnson's curly hair and all this is literally curly.
Yeah, I just don't like how it's so curly. Like,
yeah, I mean it's like you stick because they talk about secret identity, he does stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
he sticks out like a sore thumb, but now he doesn't have to cut the hair. He's just gonna wear the pilot helmet and the goggles. So I think this will be a fine disguise for now, but eventually if he wants to be like his dad and wear his face confidently while being Superman, he does need to pick a more basic look. That doesn't draw.
I think Clark will give him his official suit. This is a prototype, but when Clark thinks he's ready and everything like that,
Already got the article up, Snyder.
Ready, like
Agreed, chill.
he will give him the Superman suit that Clark gives him. But this right now, this is prototype. This is like prototype stays in early comics with Superboy, and then eventually his father passes down his actual suit that he hands him.
Yeah, I think this is shaping up to be a really good potential Superman and Superboy dynamic. Now, Arkham, I mentioned this earlier, and this last thing we'll speak on, and I'll let you say a little bit more if you want to, a little final thoughts, because we do want to go. Snyder wants us to go over this Spider-Verse article real quick. But how would you feel if Jonathan and Jordan both had like half of Superman powers in this show?
Jonathan and Jordan have
like let's say, for example, Jonathan gets, let's say, the flight and the super speed, but he may not get the heat vision or the super strength. Jordan gets that. Like they do a half and half split between their abilities. So they're not too strong, they're not too weak, but they both kind of need each other.
I don't know how I feel about that because I know in the comics he does get all his full abilities, and it wasn't half and half.
Right. Well, it was because in the comic he only has one son, which is Jonathan, but in this case he has two. And I see a lot of people that want, Jonathan to eventually get his abilities. Would you just give them both? Because I would like it either way. Either they get half and half or they both get their full on powers. Because the perks about this show is that Superman's the only hero in the universe. So having two more people on that has the same powers as him wouldn't really take away too much from Superman. Because while, mind you, it's a whole planet, Superman can't get to every single thing. They can also get the stuff, and it's not so many heroes on this planet too, where it's crowded.
I would say, like
if you had the option to, if you want to get both them powers, what would you do? Full on or half and half it?
I would say Superboy would get he would get his full powers, and I feel like the one that doesn't have superpowers, I feel like they should it's a further delay of development of eventually getting his powers.
Right. And it might just be that, right? Because it seems like Lois's DNA, her human genes obviously affects Jonathan the most, and Clark's Kryptonian genes obviously affect Jordan a lot more.
Yeah, like Jordan, already has kind of this is my thing. Like, I would say Jordan should have full power. Jonathan, will be a delay because it wouldn't make any sense for him to automatically have the powers because of the human DNA. So how you should work around that is you see a further delay, say he gets his powers in season 5, because I think Jordan will have his full power probably at the end of this season or beginning of season 4. But I would say the further delay will happen in season 4 and eventually developing his full abilities, eventually developing his full abilities while Jordan already has his full abilities and powers.
Yep.
That's what I think they should do.
Okay. I'm down with that. I mean, like I said, if Jonathan doesn't get his powers, I'm not mad at it. If Jordan is the only with powers, I'm fine with that. But if they both get powers, I'm down with it like that. I'm okay with the delay. It's not like neither one of them doesn't have powers. If neither one of them didn't have powers, then I'd probably be like, okay, yeah, this is kind of weird. One of them at least should have abilities. They should start manifesting. But right now, I'm okay with what we're getting with both of them.
Yeah.
Full on, to be honest, what if Doomsday comes to Earth? Shit.
I'm not
What?
sure if they're gonna do Doomsday, to be honest. Like, that's 50-50.
They got us in season 2. They got us. We all thought it was Doomsday, but I was telling people that's not Doomsday. They're not doing Doomsday.
I don't think they will do Doomsday. I think
They
will.
won't. They won't. I don't think they will.
I do think they'll introduce other characters. Maybe they'll introduce, I don't know, Toyman, Livewire. They already introduced Paris. They didn't technically.
Livewire needs some love. The last time we seen her,
Better Livewire design and everything like that. Maybe the three dimensional character. I can't pronounce his name. You know what the one I'm talking about, right?
What character?
The 3-dimensional Mixie Pitlick or something. I think.
Mick. It's not Batmite. He's like Batmite.
Yeah, I said Mixie Pitlick.
Wait, is because aren't they separate? Isn't there 2 of them?
No, one with Batman is Batmite.
Yes.
Superman is Mixie.
Right. Yeah. That's why I was saying it was 2 because I was getting Batmite confused with because they both basically do the same shit.
If they don't go with that, they could either do they could do they could introduce Mongo. They could do Mr. Missy Pickwick, Toyman. They could do
I think
Silver Banshee.
Mongo and Livewire is like next potential villains. I think they should do in this show. Livewire and Mongo.
Atomic Skull. They could do. Also, the one with the flame head and everything like that.
Yeah.
Or Metallo. Like, they have so many options. It doesn't have to be Doomsday.
Right.
That's why I'm getting at.
Yeah, I'm kind of like ready to move on from Doomsday for now. We know he's gonna come back at some point, but time for just like real quick. And last thing I'll say before we move on to the Spider-Verse topic, there's many assuming villains that never ever get the recognition they need, mainly just the more popular ones. But like something like Superman Legacy and stuff, like I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see someone like Brainiac be the main villain and Livewire be like one of the little sub villains, or maybe Livewire might be the villain of the movie. Who knows? But anything besides Lex Luthor or Doomsday, Zod, like the ones that barely get even Bizarro barely gets shine as is.
Yeah.
Metallo, Cement Lacey, hopefully we get a villain that we have never seen in the Superman comics show up here, whether it be Livewire or it's I'll take Lobo. Lobo would be fine too.
Yeah, you could do Lobo. Like, if you're gonna do the villains, like there's so many villains, but like you could do Livewire. You could do Livewire. You could do Doomsday. Parasite was technically done, but wasn't very good.
Yeah, they went with the wrong Parasite, anyways.
Yeah, I didn't like how they done that, but like you could do like any character in the Superman war. You can't do Bizarro because technically you already killed Bizarro, so that's out of the picture. I didn't like them do that, but it is what it is.
All right, guys. That's it of Superman and Lois season 3, episode 4. Now we have another topic, real quick. This one's gonna be kind of short, but we're gonna talk about it real quick.
Did you talk about Blue Beetle?
I'm saving that for the Thursday stream tomorrow. You gonna be available? Okay. You gonna be available? Oh shit! I gotta do my taxes tomorrow. Shit. What's your schedule for Friday?
I don't. I'm off on Easter, so this is Easter weekend. So I'm off Thursday.
I might do a stream Friday morning.
That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
Eastern time. Like, I'll be up probably at 10 o'clock Eastern time morning, so 10 o'clock.
Got it. I can make it happen.
So I could do that. Then we could talk about the bullshit.
All right, guys. Here's some Spider-Verse propaganda from Spider-Verse propaganda. Man, this that Marvel propaganda. But we're gonna talk about it real quick. We're gonna talk about that Marvel propaganda. So it is revealed by Deadline that Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse trailer, is boom. Second Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer comes in as the most viewed for a summer superhero 2023 pick. The amount of memes and stuff I'm seeing from it, that's the thing. It's Spider-Man. A bunch of that trailer was meme worthy. I'm not saying it's meme worthy in a bad way, but all the memes that just spawned from that shit, the conversations around it. I think the biggest conversations, everybody wondering, like, what the hell did Miles do? What did Miles do to piss off so many Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Why is he the somewhat of an antagonist of this story? Like, why? And that's a conversation for me, looming in my head too. Like, what the fuck?
I just hated they dropped it at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was so weird. I was literally at work.
Like, I was so tired that here's the thing. I woke up 2 o'clock in the morning. I was so tired. I thought that while watching it, I thought it was bad. Then when I go to the theater, I rewatch it. The previews were shown, and it was shown, and I'm not as exhausted.
Right.
I actually like it better. I think when you're tired, I don't think it's perceived well when you wake up so early.
Yeah, it's like, granted, I like Spider-Man, but I thought Sony, that's, mind you, so it's bad enough Sony does like make dumb decisions when it comes to these, the Venom movie, the upcoming Craven film, but that was just like out of nowhere and weird. I'm like, you dropped this at 11 p.m. Pacific time, and mind you, I did like the trailer when I saw it, but I was like, what are you guys doing? This doesn't make any sense to do this at this time. Even if
no one's gonna be awake. That's the thing.
Right. He's black. That's why they jumping him. Probably just racist. Spider-Man probably just racist this movie.
Within the trailer, it seems like they're trying to make they're trying to decide his own destiny.
Yeah, because okay, so the villain, you see that villain to do with the polka dots. His name's Spot in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what his abilities fully are, but we know he can teleport. Now maybe his powers have to do with our link to the multiverse, and he may not even know it. Who knows? But it seems like we don't know if Miguel, because in the trailer we don't know if Miguel has an issue with this Spot villain, but Miles does. So somehow that villain is going to be worked into the plot. And who knows? That villain could probably just be like a one-off villain in the moment that Miles deals with, and then the rest of the movie is not even about him.
Yeah,
but
it could be possible it's a one-off villain. I think, like, seeing it from the trailer, from my perspective, it looks like everyone's trying to decide what his destiny is and everything like that. But Miles wants to decide his own fate. He wants to make his own choices. And everyone's trying to, like, all the spider. I think Miguel is trying to make it where you have to, like, you see, like, flashbacks and multiverses and stuff like that. It looks like Miguel is telling him, you have to do this, you have to do that. It seems like everyone's trying to make a decision for him, but that's not what he wants. He wants to make his own decisions and forge his own destiny. You're muted.
Right, and that's what a part of his youthfulness, like his youth. That's Miami. We're even right now, most of us at the age we're at, we're still trying to forge our own like path and see where we want to go in life. Hopefully, okay. And this is where I don't think it will be a No Way Home. I think this will be better done. But I hope this isn't a situation where like Miles does something so dumb like Peter did in No Way Home, where he just like did that. He messed up the wish, and Doctor Strange clearly explained to him like blah blah blah. It's like
did you hear the Easter egg?
Oh yeah. As
I
a
think
Tom Holland hater, as a Tom Holland Spider-Man hater, I enjoyed that.
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh, and they finally called the MCU what it is: 199999, not 616.
Yeah, it was never 616. Like that's the comics. Makes no sense.
Yeah, Feige it's like, granted they're separate, properties and stuff, but you can't call. Yes, in DC, there's the Earth Prime, and then sometimes in these movies they may refer to as Earth Prime, but you gotta call it something different, because even then, if you look at the content all as it is, all this content stems from the main source, which is the comics, and you have the movies, live action, which you can look at as a separate universe, but it's all contained. It's all in this like big multiverse of stuff,
Yeah.
And you gotta separate this. You can't have too much synergy between it, because it needs to still feel separate.
The thing with DC is Earth Prime will always make sense, because the numbers in the live action is actually not the same numbers from the comics.
Right.
The only distinction is Earth Prime, and it makes sense. That's the first Earth. So that would be.
I think the most common Earth we've seen that was used, if you look at the CW crossover, Flash, Earth 2 is used multiple times, even though Earth 2, that's Earth where that Val Zodman and stuff is at, and I think Thomas Wayne Batman.
Yeah, Thomas Earth 2 is Thomas Wayne Batman.
Yeah.
Where it's not, he has a red symbol around it, and it's different, but it's like yeah,
and that's why even though that's why even in the CW, right, when Flash used Earth 2, I think they could have just used like Earth 39 or something, right? Because if you use Earth 2, then you should kind of pull into the comics territory.
I think you make a distinction of what it is.
Yeah, in the CW, Earth 2 was Jay Garrick, but we know in the comics, Earth 2 is where Thomas Wayne Batman's at, Flashpoint and stuff, all that.
Yeah, we're just saying distinction. But yeah.
But for this specific thing, 616 needs to be very distinct. Because even when the Ultimate comics came out, those wasn't 616. They made it very clear that is not 616. It's a totally separate Earth, totally separate universe.
Yeah, I think
it wasn't it wasn't a rebooted 616 either. It was just a totally separate universe.
I think it's still 616. I think with Marvel Comics is you have a very distinction Earth that you can't use 616, the number. Compared to like DC, you could like keep those numbers and do that, but like it's just very distinction with Marvel because they never rebooted. Like technically they're still going on. I think they should reboot, but like they're gonna do whatever.
Right. But let me read some of this article real quick. Well, let me get the Snyder's comment, and we'll read a little bit of this article and get ready to end it up in about 10 minutes pretty much. I got to get ready for work. Protect trans kid. That small ass detail got alt-right people triggered. It's just a 1 second shot in Gwen's room. Yeah, it's just like the same thing with the Blue Beetle trailer. People got mad. Batman, you fascist. Just like we got into a point where like, okay, when I have issues with a lot of stuff like content, it's like big obvious shit. Now, when it comes to the protect trans kids shit, I have my own opinion on it, but that is not something that's gonna fucking like bother me. Like,
it's like just, I don't really like. It's a good thing. Like for me, like it's good to see recognition towards trans people and stuff like that, and I don't think there's a problem with that. Like,
remember, okay, let me bring this up. So I know you guys remember this. Remember when people was complaining about the pride flag in Spider-Man PS4?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And it's like a random flag in the city, has really nothing to do with the story. It's just there. Like it's just a random pride flag, and people's crying about this. Like, just let it fucking be. It's not like it's not doing nothing to to put a damper on the story. It's
Yeah.
just there. It's New York. There's all this stuff. There's all these billboards.
It's there as recognition and like respect towards like everyone. It's not
Right.
just like I understand everyone has an opinion on like pride and stuff like that. Like I don't care what freaking Ryan Kindle's fucking point of view, but like I just think it's good to see different like different people be recognized, like because not a lot of trans are uh recognized in I would say animation. They don't
Right.
do that a lot, and I just think it's a good thing. Like why complain about it? Like it's it
Yeah,
makes no sense.
it's nothing to get bothered about. It's nothing to lose your composure over. It's just if you don't like it, okay. Now, for example, I'm gonna give a prime example. When the Eternals movie was coming out, right?
Yeah.
And what's the first news we heard about Eternals? That they're gonna have they're gonna have a kiss between two homosexual characters.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
You get to the movie, right? And for one, the homosexual relationship is barely a relationship in the movie, and the kiss was like literally 5 seconds. It's like you mind you, people hype this up, and they said it was people crying on set when they saw this for like a 5-second sequence in a relationship that's barely a factor in the movie. It's like so you gassed this up and made it seem like it was going to be something really impactful for the film, and it really was nothing.
Yeah, like I agree with that. I'm just saying, like it's just good to see certain within the community be have that recognition and stuff like that because not a lot of them have recognition in animation. You don't see that a lot.
Right. Well, and mind you, there also another community in society that gets attacked heavily in general.
Yeah.
Mind you, there I have my criticisms of how they interact with the world too, but for the most part, they are another group in the world.
Yeah.
Just like blacks, Mexicans, or whatever that do get heavily criticized.
Yeah.
Or just being them, existing.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get through this article real quick, and we're gonna end it after this, guys, because I do have to get ready for work. But exclusive. Sony's second trailer for the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has set a viewership record. Deadline has learned coming in not only as the highest viewed Spider-Man franchise trailer, but also as the most viewed Spider-Verse franchise trailer, but also as the most viewed second trailer for any recent Marvel film within a 24-hour period, and the most viewed superhero film trailer of the summer. The new trailer has since launching yesterday garnered 148.6 million views, besting the tallies notched by trailers for forthcoming superhero tentpoles, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and The Flash, in the first 24 hours. Recent Marvel films coming in behind Across the Spider-Verse in terms of views for a second trailer include Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Black Panther, and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's Black Panther 2, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
The first two planned sequels to Sony's 2018 Best Animated Feature Oscar winner Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which grossed over $384 million worldwide. Across the Spider-Verse picks up with the Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man Miles Morales as it reunites with Gwen Stacy, encountering a team of spider people charged with protecting the very existence of the multiverse as he catapulted through it. When heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders and must redefine what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves the most. Anything you want to say so far, Arkham? About an article?
No, like it's good that it's getting a lot of praise. It's Spider-Man, so of course it's good. Yeah, a lot.
I mean, as a show, I mean, compared to the other trailers that it's like literally, beaten, I would say this is a W.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the Spider-Verse films is better than a lot of MCU.
Animation in general is like, in my opinion, always been like comics and animation always been superior in my opinion. Like, and
Yeah,
games also, but like, um, they will always have that kind of freedom that they can do whatever they want and be like a very good product. Like both Marvel and DC. And I love the animation. I love the Spider Verse animation. I would wish if we got something like that with Batman Beyond.
but
But
it was so. I mean, you did see that rumor of that Batman
oh
Beyond
yeah, I
animated
heard.
film. It's a
But,
rumor. Not sure if it's going to happen, but it's rumored.
yeah, it's very good. I'm gonna see the movie. When does it come out? June something.
The Spider Verse film, yeah, it comes out June 2nd.
Oh, June
Oh,
2nd. That's early.
yeah, it's Flash and this film are going to be like pretty much almost back to back.
Yeah, I
Flash
think
drops
it's
June 16th, and this drops June 2nd, so they're pretty much close when they're going to release.
so you said June. Okay. Oh yeah, like it's just a week apart, so like June 2nd, so technically like they have like one one, two, 3 weeks until the technically the Flash comes out because it's the 16th, and you have that gap between it because it's not under um, Spider Verse. So
Yeah,
it's a good thing they put it in the 16th. But like, I'm very excited. I'm excited for the movie.
yeah. I just hope
After watching it the trailer second time.
both films get an opportunity to eat. Now, I fully believe Flash, since it's due to it being live action, it's the first Flash movie is going to make more money because we know live action has always when and it's messed up because it does happen, and I wish it was an equal opportunity, but animation does not make as much money compared to live action. Like if you did a live action Spider-Man film, I feel like that would make more film than an animated Spider-Man film.
You mean Spider Verse? Like you would want live action version?
Well, okay. Let's the first film made like 300, a little over 300 million. It made its budget back and it's still profited, right? But you would think since it's Spider-Man, it probably would have did more money. Now, let's say if you took Into the Spider-Verse and did it live action, how much money do you think it would make? Same quality, it's going to be slightly different, but same quality, same writing. But how much money do you think it would do Into the Spider-Verse, the first one, if it was live action?
It'll probably make, if I had to guess, probably a billion, to be honest, or more.
I agree with you. I think it would have easily.
It's because like I know this is a sad truth people don't like to hear, but people like live action more than animation. Like
Right.
it's a more appealing. Like people like live action, and I know it's sad. I would like to see the animation to get more recognition, but it's just like even if you have a good animation movie and put it, there's a reason why they don't give animated movies a very big budget, is because they don't make as much as live action superhero movies. That's like a big reason, and I wish that would change, but like
Yeah, it's just the mentality of the world. It's not say but that's just what it is. It's always been the case with animation. There's been some animations like Disney animations that made a bunch of money, but animations in general, compared to the live action counterparts, do not make as much money. But these movies do make their profit back because it doesn't take a lot to make them compared to a live action film.
yeah, that's what's so good about animation, is because they don't put them that they don't have to have like 600 million or something like that. Like they have like a pretty low budget to make these animation movies, and they make the profit pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have to make that much, to be honest.
Yeah, they just need to make back their profit. Like, but Spider-Verse making over 300 million off a 90 million budget, that's really good. That's basically what like Shazam 1 did, you know, made back his budget. Yes, it probably should have done more, but you made back your budget, you made profit. You can do a second film, do even better. Boom.
Yep.
All right, you guys. So I mean, for the most part, that's pretty much it of the article. This trailer, you know, did more numbers than most of the trailers that we got so far. This is only part 1 of the Spider-Verse film. There's going to be a part 2 to Beyond the Spider-Verse. So be on the lookout for that. This is part 1. And then part 2 probably releasing maybe, what you think, next year or the year after?
I think they said 2024, 2025, they said.
Makes sense to do it 2024. You kind of, if you're doing it part 2, you kind of gotta have it released in a close time frame. Like, because these are specifically like a part 1 and 2. It's like taking 2 films and just cutting it down and you're just separating them, but it's part 1, part 2, chapter 1, chapter 2.
Yeah, basically.
Arkham, is there any last things you want to say for the stream? Anything you want to plug, promote real quick before we head up out of here?
No, I don't. I really like Superman Lois. Excited to see Spider-Verse. I hope things they make a lot of profit with Spider-Verse.
Right. Yeah. Same right, guys. Hope it does great.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for watching. Goes for that peace, love, positivity, all that jazz. Don't do drugs. And like I always say, guys, deuces.
See ya.